Question number 1. A government agency is modernizing its citizen information system deployed in their organization premises to improve service delivery in a more user-friendly manner. Which hardware combination would be most effective in achieving this goal? So when it comes to this question, it is talking about modernizing the citizen information system. And we have to be capture this particular fact that the system is inside the organization premises. And again, they are improving this service to become more user-friendly. So if there is a system already, so they are going to modernize it to become more user-friendly. So they are asking like what kind of devices, the couple of devices, which will be more effective, the most effective in achieving this goal. So the first choice is given as laptop computer and a printer. So like changing the computer, or like having a computer, like if you think about if they got a desktop computer and they are changing it to a laptop computer, will not make more user friendly, because it's the same screen, same keyboard that the user is going to work with. And having a printer will give them to will give the user a chance to print things out. But we have to see, like we have to compare the first choice with the other choices to determine whether it is the best choice that we can go. The second one says the desktop computer and the touchscreen monitor. So like when it comes to the desktop computer, again, it's not going to give you a very big benefit, because it's kind of an independent fact when it comes to the computer type. Because at the end of the day, the end user is going to interact with the screen using the keyboard if it is only a desktop computer. But if the desktop computer is enabled with a touchscreen monitor, then actually they can take away the keyboard interaction, and they can keep the monitor to interact with the user. So it's kind of a environment where you are going to find in a modern ATM machine as well. So we are not going to go with the keys a lot of time. Everything is on the screen, and the onboard keyboard is there, and on screen keyboard is there. So like user will be able to interact with those as well. And again, like since the touch screen can be given with different kind of icons with the touch sense, so the system can be able to make into a more user-friendly manner. So comparing to the first choice, second choice is a better one when you are having the desktop computer and a touchscreen monitor. Third choice says tablet and a joystick. So tablet will be easy to handle, but joystick here will not make any sense how the joysticks can be used with a information system, because joystick it is mostly used for the entertainment purpose. So when we are interacting with the information system, joystick has no much of the things to deal with. So still the second one would be a good choice, or a better choice. And the fourth choice says desktop computer and a scanner. Again, it goes with the same combination like the first choice. Computer will give the less impact because it's a computer at the end of the day, and a scanner will allow the user to scan and input an image. So when it comes to the scanning purpose with the information system, it will be less interactive, because like we are not going to scan a lot of documents into information system always. Like information system is like an environment where it is capable of taking all the details from the user in a nice and using the text box environments. So like having the scanner will be a little bit facilitated, but unlike the second choice has most of the things which is going to be interacted with the monitor, and we can make it the screen as a smart environment, as you can see in the smartphones when you have this touch screen monitor. So better answer, much better answer is going to be the second one. So the most suitable answer is the second one for the first question. Second question, a school is upgrading its computer lab and is considering different types of monitors. Which type of monitor is known for its slim profile, energy efficiency, and sharp image quality? So they are talking about three factors over here: slim profile, energy efficiency, and sharp images. Like when it comes to the slim profiles, we can take LCD as well as LED. So CRT is out of the context when it comes to the simpler profiles, so we can take away the CRT choice. And when it comes to the plasmas, plasma is a little bit old technology where they used to create large screens before the LED technology is here. Still, some of them are using the plasma, but it is not energy efficiency. Like when it comes to the energy efficiency, LED takes the first place. So then after it goes with the LCD. So LED is the best. This is the best one. This has small, like comparing to the LED, LCD consumes more energy. And when it comes to these sharp images, with the help of the technology as well as the help of the softwares kind of things, sharp images will be made out of LCD, LED, as well as even the CRTs and all technology. CRT can also produce with sharp images if the mechanism inside is gone very well. So when it comes to the sharp images, like all three monitors can be arguable, can be compared, but with the new technologies and the software involvements, like generation to generation, like from LCD pictures were better than the CRT, and LED pictures were better than the CRT and the LCD. So still, when it comes to the sharp images, we can lead with the LED. So it's the small differences that we have, but like in all the points, slim profile is taken from the LED, energy efficiency taken from the LED, sharp images again much better with the LED. So the best answer is going to be the LED, neither the LCD, not with the plasma, because if I tell you about the plasma is not something that we are discussing in our syllabus, but still it was a technology to use create large screens, not the small ones. And again, when it comes to the energy efficiency, it was consuming more energy than the LED and the LCD. So much suitable answer, most suitable answer is going to be the third one, LED. Okay, the third question, which memory type serves as a buffer between the CPU and main memory, providing the faster access to frequently used data and instructions? Yeah, now when the data and instructions are accessed by the CPU, the traditional way, or the most conventional way that the data is going to flow is, it will take the data from the secondary storage device, like a hard disk, right? So we can name this as the hard disk drive. So the particular program will be installed over here, right? So when we need to use this program, we have to run this program on the RAM, right? So running a program means that particular program will be executed, and some kind of processors regarding that particular program is loaded into the RAM. So in general terms, we can take the program is going to be loaded into the RAM in simple terms, but the actual story is going to be regarding the program. Several number of processors will be created and will be taken into the place called RAM. And then from the RAM, it will reach the CPU. So CPU is not a place to take the entire program at once. So instruction by instruction will be fed into the CPU. So they will be executed and send the result back. So this is the general way of flowing the instructions, or executing a program which is installed in the HDD or the hard disk in the CPU. So they are talking about the buffer between the CPU and the main memory. So with that segment, we can easily recognize that they are talking about the cache. So cache memory comes to play when the CPU is executing the programs. The cache memory is capable of memorizing the frequently used or like the recently used data and instruction inside it. So when the computer has cache now in modern computers, the CPU is integrated with the cache. But when we are talking about the cache, we just use it in these separate ways. So anyway, it is much closer than the RAM to the CPU, right? So like when a CPU is asked to execute a particular program, even though the conventional way is from HDD to RAM to the CPU, before all of those, the CPU will check whether that particular program is in the cache. So if that particular program is in the cache, that program will be directly fed into the CPU. But if it is there, right, and then the program will be start very quickly, so the execution time will be saved, so the user will feel the execution happens much faster manner. So if you think about a situation where we have execute a program recently and we close it and then we are going to start it again, it's not going to take the program from the hard disk to the RAM to the CPU. Since it is being executed recently, the data and instruction is there in the cache, so the CPU will take the data and instructions from the cache directly to the CPU. So the second time that you are starting the program in a recent manner, it will be a faster execution that you are going to experience. So in the question they are asking the same thing: which memory type serves as a buffer between the CPU and main memory? So it's definitely they are talking about the cache, providing fast access to frequently used data. That's what we are talking about. So the answer for the second one, for the third question, is going to be the second choice. Fourth question: which of the following network media is more suitable for low cost, short distance communication? So the factors that they're talking about is low cost and short distance communication. So when it comes to the first three choices, twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optic cables, we call these things are guided media or wired media. And when we are comparing those three things, twisted pair is going to be the lowest cost and the short distance communication media, because since it is the production of the twisted pair is done in a very low cost, uh, it can be purchased for a low price, so it will be easier for the people who are handling a network using the twisted pair. It is not expensive, but again, since it is not expensive, the distance that it can be communicated is limited, or it's lower than the coaxial cable and the fiber optic cables. So from the first three, the guided medias, the low cost and the short distance communication goes with the twisted pair. And the fourth one is talking about the wireless communication media, so which is a broad one. So here we are talking about radio waves, uh, which is generally used to do a long distance communication. And then we are going to talk about microwaves. Again, it has a much power than the radio waves, so microwaves will be used to communicate with a greater distance where the radio waves cannot reach. And we are going to talk about the infrared, which is generally used to do the short distance communication. But when it comes to the cost, it's going to be vary depending on the device that you are going to use. So those kind of methods or the medias are there inside the wireless group. So when you are getting an answer like wireless, you won't be able to say what it's going to be. And generally, comparing to the twisted pair, wireless are going to give you much cost, or much higher cost comparing the twisted pair as well. So depending on those, the most suitable answer is going to be the twisted pair, the first choice for the fourth answer. Fifth one, which network topology provides a separate path between devices offering high reliability but increased complexity in setup and maintenance? So it's in the question they are talking about two aspects, like in two different ways. One point is said as a advantage, and the other point is said as a disadvantage. So the providing separate paths between devices will be an advantage, but as well as high reliability is an advantage, but increased complexity in setup and maintenance are going to be disadvantages, right? So if you think about the star topology, generally we are going to build it with a central device. We use the devices like switch or an hub to work it as a central device. So this device is having RJ45 ports. So you can connect any particular device using a network cable, or when it comes to the terms, the twisted pair cable, with the switch by using their network port as well. So generally this is the most easiest, one of the most easiest way of setting up a network or a local area network. Here the separate paths between the devices, the factor that they are talking about in the question, is going to be violated because they don't have separate path between devices. The only way that they can communicate, like if you want to communicate with computer A with computer B, the message should taken into the switch, and from the switch message will flow to the B. And again, if you want to communicate the computer C with computer D, it goes the same way. The message should come to the switch, and from the switch message will be delivered to the D. So they don't have separate paths. It's kind of a junction that they have. So any particular message will be comes to that junction and choose the destination road and will be moved to that particular destination. So first one is not going to be your answer, since it is talking about separate paths between devices. And bus topology goes with the same argument. Now when it comes to the bus topology, we have a main line called bus, which has terminators at the end to indicate that the path is end from this particular place, and the devices are connected to the bus in this manner. So any particular device needs to communicate with another. Let's assume A is going to communicate with B. So it's going to come inside the bus and goes inside the bus to the destination place and move into the destination. So bus is going to be a shared media for each and every device which is connected to the main bus. So again, the separate path between devices is going to violate as well. And again, when it comes to the star and bus topologies, they are not very hard to maintain, and they are not complex topologies. So again, this increased complexity in setup and the maintenance is also violated, right? Reliability is there in the in most of the in any kind of network. Reliability is there, like we can talk less and more factor, but reliability is there. And when it comes to the ring topology is kind of a special topology. It connects with two more devices from both the sides and perform some particular shape like this. So in this one, again, the very first fact, separate paths between devices. Like if you think about the device A, B, C and D, like if you want to reach from A to D, this is the only path that you can reach, right? There is no any alternative ways or separate ways to come. Like if the B needs to communicate with E, again B needs to go around B needs to go around from B to C, C to D, and D to E. Right? No choice of change in that particular place. So ring is not going to give you separate paths between devices, and reliability is there, as I tell you, like, and it is not very complex to set up or maintain. So again, it's not the ring. So that brings us the answer, which is the mesh is going to be our answer. And look at how mesh is going to connect. And if you think about the mesh topology means connecting each and every node with each other in the network. So it is provides separate paths between devices, as well as it will offer the highest reliability, because like if you want to communicate with the device A with device B, so you have many ways. You can communicate directly, or you can come to this particular node and communicate with this, or you can come to this node and reach here and then comes to here. Right? Then it will be very much easier for them to find an alternative path in case of any particular matter. So as it says, to set up and maintenance, it's going to be a very hard thing, or like it's going to be a very tiring thing, because they have to make each and every node connected with each other. So they have to use many different network interfaces. They have to use many number of network cables. So it is not easy for them to set up. And as well as when they are maintaining it, there will be many kind of maintenance. So due to that, fourth one is going to be the answer for the fifth question. Question number 6. In a network, what is the purpose of a switch? To connect multiple networks together. Now, before we comes to the choices, the switch is a thing which we use to create a local area network in the star topology method, right? Or using the star topology. So, like the switch, we can use hub instead of a switch as well, but there are advantages and disadvantages of replacing a switch from a hub. So here they are talking about the switch. So what you have to remember is, when they are talking about the switch is a network device which is used to create a local area network. So in other words, several different devices will be able to connect with the switch, and you can create a small network. So let's go to the first choice. It says to connect multiple networks together. Now, since it is saying multiple networks can be done by a router or a particular gateway device. So first one is not going to be the answer, because the switch cannot use to connect multiple networks. And the second choice says to provide wireless connectivity to devices in the network. Yeah, switches generally we are using to have the wired connectivity. So using a twisted pair cable, having RJ45 jacks on both the ends, we connect the device and the switch together. So it's kindly in general purpose, we take it as a wired connection, which is have the wired connectivity. So we can't say it is giving us the wireless connectivity. So choice 2 is out. And the number 3, to connect multiple devices within the network and control network traffic between devices. Definitely that's going to be the answer. So when it comes to the switch, it is able to manage the traffic in between devices, because the switch is able to recognize the sender as well as the specific receiver of the particular message. Where the hub is not going to, or like hub does not have that kind of an ability. So it is a disadvantage comparing to the switch about the hub. So switch has that advantage, saying the multiple devices within the network can be connected using the switch, and it controls the network traffic between devices. To encrypt data transmitted over the network, the fourth choice is the encryption is something that we use as a security method when we are communicating, so which cannot be done through the switch, and it is done by several different algorithms using some kind of applications of encryption. So it is not something belongs to the switch. So fourth one is out of the choices. So the answer is going to be the third one. Question number 7. Which one of the least value from following values? Which one of the least value from following values? Yes. So to find what is the least value, we have to take these 4 values onto a one single binary, one signal, one. So to manage this particular values, so to compare these values within each other, we have to take these values into a one particular base. So the easiest way is like converting these things into the decimal number systems numbers. So like we know the decimal number system, so it is easy for us to manage, right? So let's quickly do the comparison. Let's quickly do the conversion. So it's 11001. That is the binary number. So we have to convert this into the decimal. So the place values will be considered. So place values are going to be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Since it is the binary number system, we actually don't need to multiply the place value with the symbol value. What we can do is we can add the place values which has a 1 indicating over it. So in this case 16 plus 8 plus 1 will give you the answer, since it is a binary value. This can be done only for the binary values, not for the other base values. So 16 plus 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So this is going to give you 25 in decimal. And the next one is 131 in octal. So again the place values need to be considered. So 8 to the power 0, which is 1, 8 to the power 1 is 8, 8 to the power 2 is 64. So here you have to multiply the place value with the symbol value. So we have to do 64 into 1 plus 8 into 3 plus 1 into 1. So which is going to give you a 64 plus 24 plus 1. So which is going to give you 89 as the final value. And the hexadecimal one is 39 in hexadecimal. So as earlier, these things have the place values as well. So this is 16 to the power 0, which is 1. This is 16 to the power 1, which is 16. Again, the place value will be multiplied by the symbol value. So 16 into 3 plus 1 into 9. 16 into 3 is 48. 48 plus 9, which gives you 57. So we have a decimal number as the fourth choice. So it is easy for you to do the comparison. So this gives you the least value. So the answer is going to be this binary number. So for question number 7, first one is the answer. Question number 8, which of the following is not equaling to the octal 101? Yeah. So there are many ways that we can do this. So the best way is converting the answers over here into the octal values. So we can see whether that is going to be equal to the 101 in octal. So in the first answer we have 73 in decimal value to be converted into an octal. So how to convert a decimal into an octal? We have to divide it by 8. So it is going to give you 9 and remain in one particular remainder, then you have to divide it by 8 again. So 1 is remaining and 1 is the answer. So it's going to give you this particular answer when it converts the 73 in decimal into the octal. So your octal value can be determined from bottom to top. So saying 111 in octal. And if we take the 4116, so like since it is a hexadecimal value, if you want to convert this into an octal, you can convert the hexadecimal into a binary, then reconvert it to the octal. That will be the easier manner. Or else you can do the converting hexadecimal into a decimal and converting decimal into an octal. So let's convert this into the binary. So when you are converting a hexadecimal into binary, you have to write each and every symbol of the hexadecimal value using 4 bits, and those 4 bits will hold the place values 1, 2, 4 and 8. This goes the same way. So 1 can be created by placing a 1 over the place value 1, and 4 can be created by placing a 1 over the place value 4 on the second group. So the other place values are not going to use when you are creating the 1, so these things are going to be zeros. Even the second group, you have 1 over the 4, so 4 is created, so no 8s, no 2s and no 1s. So your binary value which you are getting is like 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1. So now when we are going to divide this into a octal value, we are going to divide, or we are going to group the binary value, this is a binary value, into the group of 3s. So it creates something like this. So each and every group consider as a small binary value and convert it into a that group's decimal value. So this has the place value of 124, that's the first group. This has the base values of 124 again, the second group. This has the base value of 1. So again, as we consider when we are converting a binary into a decimal, it is easy for us to determine by adding up the place values. So this is easy. This is just 1 because zeros are there at the top of the place value 2 and place value 4. So this indicates 1. This indicates 0 because all 3 positions are indicated by a 0 in this group. So this indicates 1 again because the place value 1 is multiplied with the symbol value 1. So this is 101 in octal, which is equal to that thing. So in the question they ask which of the following is not equal into the octal. So just by figuring out this value, we'll be able to go for the answer. But I have done that thing is to show like how the hexadecimal can be converted into the octal as well. So you have some additional knowledge. So when it comes to the third answer is describing about this particular value. So which is again 101. So of course second and third are equal to the 101, and you can't take none of the above because 7310 is not going to equal. So the answer is going to be the first one. Question number 9. You want to ensure your computer having enough available memory to store additional files on your computer. What should you do to determine the available capacity accurately? Yeah, so it's a simple question. You have to determine whether you can store a file which is with you in your computer. So you need to know whether you have enough free space, right? So how we are going to determine that? I think you know the answer. You have done this in many times in your life, or maybe you are not very much worried about installing or like copying something onto your drive because it is something big in capacity. But if you are at the edge of the storage, or like if you are like really almost running out your storage, then of course you have to be consider about storing things in your computer, because otherwise the storage will be filled and it will lead to many problems like slowing down the computer, sometimes tucking it out. So at some point of your life you will be facing some kind of a question like this. So what you are going to do is, the first one says check the capacity of the drive which has installed the operating system. So like you need to store a particular file. So it doesn't matter whether you are going to store it in the operating system installed drive or different kind of a drive. You may have a different number of partitions indicating the C drive, D drive, E drive likewise. So just concerning the C drive will not give you the full idea about the free space that you need. So as an example, just think the drive, the C drive, which has the operating system, has only 1 GB of free space. So you have a 2 GB size of a file. So just by looking at it, you can't say I can't copy this particular file into my computer because C drive has only 1 GB. You may have more space in your D drive or E drive, so you have to think about all the drives, or like you have to go through all the drives to get an idea how much of free space that is there for you. So just check in only the operating system free space, or like the drive which has the operating systems. By considering only that space will not give you a clear idea or a total idea about the free space. So this is not going to be an answer. Count the number of files and estimate their collective size, which is going to be most of the time an impractical thing because your computer has many different files, so you can't just manually do that calculation and go for the free space. There are many easy ways of get to know about how much of free space in there in your disk or the storage. So this is going to be a hard way of doing it, not a smart way of doing it. Very hard way, sometimes impossible. So it is out of our choices. Use a disk utility tool to check the current storage usage. Yeah, there is one good solution. So like if you use a disk utility tool, if you just open the file explorer, or if you can open the any particular storage management utility software, so it will show you like this much of space is there in the C drive, this much of space in there in the D drive. So you can easily recognize like whether you can copy, or like you can store this particular new file into your computer or not. So this is going to be the most suitable answer. Fourth one says check the number of partitions in the computer. Again, no point of checking the number of partitions, like we need the free space. So like counting the number of partitions will not reflect how much of space is there in your computer. So that's obviously out of the choices. So the most suitable answer is going to be the third one for the 9th question. Number 10, what is the shortcut key combination used to open the find dialog box? So like when it comes to the find dialog box, find is starting from letter F. So most of your shortcuts are related to the starting letter of the particular command. Like find start with the F, so control F is the answer for that. And saving start from S, control S is the shortcut key. Copying start from C, control C is the shortcut key. Printing start with P, control P is the shortcut key likewise. And there are some other places which is not going with the starting letter, like as an example the cut, the shortcut key for the cut, control X. So you can remember it like the scissor is in the shape of X, so you can match it like control X. That's the way I'm remembering the things. So like when it comes to the paste, control V is going to be the paste likewise. So the particular answer for this, the find in the dialog box, the find, how to take the find dialog box. So the answer is going to be control F. The first one is going to be the answer.